What's up, Titos and Titas? Welcome to another episode of The Ultimate Tito. So this episode is gonna be a plantito episode. And before we start with that one, you might have noticed something different. Something about what I'm wearing. This is the Ultimate Tito shirt. Di pa kami sikat, may shirt na kami. So, ayun. This episode is an emergency episode because I've decided finally to propagate one of my precious prayer plants. So, normally I would really love lush prayer plants, and I would try my best not to propagate them because when I propagate them, of course, I would be breaking them down into smaller plants, and nothing beats like having really lush plants to look at. But this is the practical way to go because of the pandemic. The prices have soared up. I've decided to propagate this Goeppertia fucata. So this is the light form. So you can see this is a very lush pot. You would be hard pressed to find a lush pot like this in the Philippines. You'd be even hard pressed to find a Goeppertia fucata, let alone a very lush specimen like this one in the Philippines, because this is a hard to find prayer plant in the Philippines. So I finally decided, as I've said, to propagate this one due to popular demand. Some are really inquiring about this plant, and I've always my previous answers would always be, I'm not propagating, but then prices are really tempting, so I had to give in. So this time, this video is about propagating prayer plants. Just so happened that I'm gonna be propagating the fucata, but basically the propagation technique for this one, it's called splitting. Before my other video, it's about the maranta propagation, it's about the cuttings. This one is about rhizome splitting. So this is the more conventional way of propagating prayer plants, because as we have all known, prayer plants are rhizomatous plants, and they would have rhizomes just like a ginger. And when you propagate that one, you have to kind of separate them apart for them to become individual plants in the future. So let's get into it, and I'll be discussing some of the materials that I'll be needing for this one. I would have my alcohol and my scissors. So I'll be using the alcohol to disinfect my utensils or my tools. I would have this one. So this is another paid advertisement. It just so happened that I'm using this one. So this is Hormix. This is a growth and vitamin hormone. So basically, it contains IBA, NAA, and vitamin B1. So these are vitamin B1 is for to counter the stress brought about by splitting and by repotting. NAA is for root development, as well as IBA. So this one would help the plant establish itself quicker by producing more, producing roots faster. So I'll be using this one. I'll be following the manufacturer's recommendations when it comes to the dosage. So it says here, for planting or transplanting, it says here 5 ml Hormex diluted in 6 gallons of water. So you need very little of this one. And of course, my potting mix and the coconut chunks that I'll be using as the base in my pots. And of course, the very beautiful Goeppertia fucata. So I'm not really sure how many we would be getting from this one, but I definitely think this is money. Because right now, the propagation for the Goeppertia fucata would run from around 5,000 to 10,000 pesos per plant. So that's how expensive it is right now. So who would not in the right state of mind would say no to that? So let's proceed. Definitely, what I would do is loosen the pot, of course, but I do have a very loose soil to begin with. So removing this plant from its pot is not gonna be an issue. So just to, I would normally press on the pot just to loosen the soil, and then I could now either I could tilt this one, or I could just uproot it right away. But I'll do the I'll tilt this one. I'll be removing some of the soil. Okay, it's gonna be either way, the plant is gonna be stressed out because you have to you're gonna be splitting it. So I'll put this one aside. So as you can see, oh, so there's a new growth coming up, but pretty sure it's not gonna, as we're gonna be disturbing the plant. I don't know if it's gonna push through, but we'll try to preserve that one. Okay. So what I want to do is loosen the soil around the root ball so that I could envision, or I could see where I want to cut. So you can do is just shake it up a bit if the soil is loose enough. Okay. So I think this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Money. So I think it's gonna be at least 5 plants. Okay, so I want to make sure that if I the rhizomes that I'm separating would have roots with it, because you don't want to separate very young plants and then they don't have any roots. Like for example, you have to be careful. You have to be careful with this one, because sometimes it might not have a very good root system to begin with, so you don't want to separate that one from the mother plant. So make sure. Sometimes you don't need a scissor for this one. You could just break it apart. If you have the experience in doing it, you would know where to cut. So this one, I would be cutting it from here. So this is definitely one plant, one big plant, of course. So I'll try to break them apart manually without using a scissor. Okay, now I see that this plant right here is also with that bunch, with that rhizome. So I wanna remove that one together in a bunch. Okay, so you can see this is one rhizome. I'm not sure if I could remove some of it. I'm not sure. I think I could remove this one right here, but I'm not too confident about that one. I'll leave it at that. I'll check the other plant. I'll check the others. Some are more aggressive when it comes to propagating prayer plants. Me, I kind of go the conservative way just to make sure that the plants that I'm separating are gonna survive. So this one right here is another rhizome. So I'll be using of course, I'll be disinfecting first. I'll be using a scissor to remove this one. So the tiny bit that you've seen, the tiny bit of growth you've seen a while ago is attached to this rhizome right here. So I'm gonna be cutting this one from here. Okay. So that was definitely easier than just manually separating them. So that's one plant, at least 5,000 pesos. So, okay. Definitely this one would be another plant right here. I don't want to cut the roots as much as possible. Okay. Money. And this one right here. Okay, I think I could separate this one as well, because I already see some roots. Money. it's okay to separate this one. As you can see, it already has a rhizome and some roots, and it has a growth point already. As it's showing a growth point already, so that's where the future plant would grow from. So that's definitely one plant. Okay, I'll put this one in here, and this one I think we could still separate. Okay, I have to be careful. Okay, all right. So definitely this one will be ka-ching. So I've got, okay, so not so good. I would have preferred more roots on this one, but that's okay, that's fine. This is gonna survive. And this one I'm not gonna be on the contrary, I can separate this one. Might as well go the full distance when it comes to propagating. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be another plant, even if it has only one bad leaf, but that's fine. It's gonna grow another plant in here. This one is another plant. This one, okay, I think I'm okay. And this one right here. I don't want to remove that one. Anyway, I'll try to experiment on this one. It has a root, it has a rhizome, so I think it ticks all the check boxes, and ka-ching! Let's see if this one would grow. I think it would, because it also another growth point right there. Yeah, I'm really sure if it's the same what they call in alocaceous or caladiums eye. It has an eye. Tama ba? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to be a little ambitious on this one. I'm gonna try to remove this. Boom. Yeah, boy. And okay, let's go full tilt on this one. Boom. So that's it. I could still separate this one, but I really don't want to push my luck anymore. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 freaking plants, and you multiply it by like ka-ching. So ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. So now let's pot them. So I have here the way I normally pot my plants. I put a layer of coconut chunks at the bottom, and then put my potting mix in there halfway. Would depend on how big the plant is. So this one right here, I would position it and then just fill it up with soil up until the right level. So I'm very confident this plant would survive. It has roots, it has a good rhizome, and got plenty of leaves. So okay, one down, and I got 9 more pots to go. So stay with me, or take your snacks or whatever, because I'll be here a while to repot these babies. Alright, natapos din tayo sa pagrepot. So we've done repotting our propagations. So we've got 10. So there's here they 1, 3, 4. But that's okay. This is actually has a big rhizome underneath. So I'm not really worried about that one. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember that one. 9. And finally, 10. So this are the propagations that we've got from the splitting the mother plant. So that's it. That's how you propagate prayer plants in general. So the last thing that I would do is water this one with a water mixed with the Hormex. So I'll use this one. So this is not for coffee. This is not the gooseneck kettle. This is for the art of Japanese arrangement, flower arrangement, kabuki. So this is what they use, or you can actually use this one for watering your plants in a sophisticated way. So this is roughly around half a liter. So I'll just need maybe, I'll just estimate it, put 1 or 2 drops in, maybe 2 or 3 at most, 2, 3, and that's just how much I would need. Okay, I don't have anything to stir with. I'm not really sure if this one is safe, but I'll wash my hands later on. So I'll just drench the pot. Make sure I wet everything so that the potting mix would absorb the water with the Hormex. So as you can see, the water already passed through the bottom of the pot, so that's fine. I'll put that one away, and I'll repeat the process for all of the plants that I'm propagating. And after that one, that's it. You're done. Put them in an area that has high humidity, protected from direct sunlight, especially intense direct sunlight. You don't want to put them in a harsh environment right away because they're still trying to recover. So make sure their area would be the most ideal for prayer plants. High humidity, good lighting, bright indirect light, and another one is protected from wind. So I think that's it. I'll give you an update later on how the propagations will be doing, maybe a week or 2 after, just to show you that what I'm trying to tell you about propagating is right, and I'm not just pulling your leg here. Okay, so till next episode, Titos and Titas, see you around. Bye bye. Oops, before that one, I almost forgot. Of course, please, if you've liked the video, do subscribe to our channel. Just click subscribe, and of course click the notification bell for you to get notified when we put up new videos. So thank you very much. I'll see you again. Bye bye. My friend, you want Goeppertia fucata?